Can't nobody take my pride. Can't nobody hold me down. Oh no, the Knicks gonna keep on proving. Good morning, Knicks fans. It's your boy. And you are now tuned into another episode of OU and Knicks podcast. I'd like to thank you all for joining me and Miss Lee today. And if you're new to the channel or a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed yet, then what are you doing? Hit that button for your boy and be a part of this Knicks family. Big Task, what's good, man? I hope everything is well with you, brother. I hope everything is good with you and that you are doing well right now. Let me know how you feeling, man. How you feeling about the Knicks win? How you feeling about that Knicks win last night? Let me know, brother. Robert Parr, salute. Peace and blessings. How you feeling? How you feeling, King? How do you feel about that Knicks win last night? How you feel about that Knicks win last night? Let me know, guys. Let me know if you can hear me too. Let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure that you guys definitely can hear me. Let me know, how am I doing? Oh, okay, you can hear me then. It was a great win last night. A great win last night. Yes. Yep, KD is definitely out 4 to 6 weeks with that knee sprain. I haven't heard too much about Zach LaVine. I haven't heard too much about him. Robert Parr said things about the shakeup in the East. Yes it is. Okay, that's good. You guys can hear me. That's good. And I just want to thank you guys again for joining me. I'm also joined with Miss Lee here. I know you probably want to say hello to everybody.
How you guys doing today?
You know, we hope everything is going well with you guys and that you guys are in great spirits and celebrating the Knicks win from last night over the Atlanta Hawks. So, I mean, we're going to make this a good show. We're going to have some good topics to discuss for you guys. And we're going to have, we're going to listen in on a few things that Tom Thibodeau had to say about Julius Randle last night. And as always, I'll be reading your comments and answering your questions. So I ask that you get into the comment section and let me know your thoughts. And without further ado, let's talk Knicks. Now, the Knicks have been on a winning streak lately, winning 8 out of their last 11, with them currently being on a 3-game winning streak. Now, we all know they matched up with the Hawks last night and won the game, I would say, kind of easy. Although the Hawks had their runs throughout the night, we'll be honest. All being said, the Knicks buckled down and sealed the victory off of the strength of their entire starting 5, who all scored above 14 points. This is what we want to see, guys. Something that we've only seen, 2 times this season, I think. So, the offense has been awesome. The defense has been terrific. It seems like all of our players are playing on a string. So I'll ask you this, Miss Lee, and you guys can get into the comment section and let me know your thoughts about this. Is it safe to say the New York Knicks have finally figured it out?
It's tough to say, but I'll put it like this. I'll say a yes and a no.
Mm-hmm.
Because they do have games where they can play together as a unit. They can play cohesively. And then there are games where they still trying to figure out what should each player do.
Right.
So
right.
I think last night was a prime example of if they can play like this all the time, where no particular person has the ball too long and they're doing ball movement.
Yeah.
Everybody's moving on the court. It's not focused on one particular person.
Right.
They can win games. So
Right.
I just hope that they continue to play the way that they played last night.
Okay.
Hopefully when they play tomorrow, it can, last night game could just travel on into that. And I think they have a chance of continue to move up into the standing.
Okay. Shout out to Robert Parr. He said if Quickly was hitting his shots, this would have been a blowout ball last night. But it's next man up mentality. Definitely. I mean, I've been kind of mad at Quickly he's been pretty much playing bad for the last, I'll say, 4 games. Quickly has not lived up to his potential, the potential that I see him as. You get what I mean? So I agree with you, Robert, on that about Quickly.
But I think at this point, I think a lot of them, because it's like midway through the season now.
Right.
So a lot of them, okay, they start off good during the season, and then midway through they kind of hit a slump.
Yeah.
Just like even right now, Steph Curry hitting a slump.
Right.
So I think throughout, they give their best foot forward when the season come, and I think they kind of, I don't know if their energy drain a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think throughout, Quickly will probably end up getting that back. To where he can, start feeling his shot, because it's not like they all really at one, getting too much playing time. Right. So at this point, he still
Quickly
was.
Is
yeah,
getting
he
a lot
was,
of playing time.
But he's so focused on at times trying to get everybody involved and also still trying to get his shot too.
Right.
So as times when his shot doesn't go, that's because he's trying to feel how he can get his shot going. Mm-hmm. So, it's gonna, I think at this point, I think it's gonna mesh, because they kind of, I'm hoping that last night game is a signification of the fact that they going down the right path now. They know what they need to do. Right. It's no one man focusing on themselves and not in their feelings if they don't get to produce the way they expected to. As long as you continue to assist your team and do what you need to do to help your team win, I feel like that should be the best thing. If every man say, okay, it's a team sport, it's not a one-man show. Right. But I understand there's always one person in particular who has to shine. But if you play as a unit, I wish the Knicks could get in the mindset of how that one year when the Hawks, when they had Jeff Teague and all of them with the whole team, got what award did they give them?
They got the I think what they got, MVP or something like that.
Or sportsmanship of the week or whatever that award is that they gave them. If they can play like that, where everyone play as a whole, that'd be great.
Shout out to Robert Parr. He said Burks is a sleeper on the defensive end. Not the strongest all-around defender, but he's a monster in them passing lanes. Key defensive stats at pivotal points in the game. I totally agree with you. Robert Parr, shout out to Robert Parr, man, keeping the comment section active right now. He said, looking like Grimes has that green light on them shots. You remember, he said that Tom Thibodeau told him if he's open, he better shoot it, that he don't want him to pass. And me, honestly, I respect that, because Grimes have shown that he can be a passer, but he's not shown yet that he is an elite passer. Now, we have players on our team currently, let's say RJ Barrett and Julius Randle and, Alex Burks, who can make tough passes and are better passers than Grimes. So I would like for Grimes to stay at where he's at. Shout out to Shot Legacy. He says, salute to you, brother. Hope everything is well. Hope everything is blessed. But yeah, I believe that Grimes should stick at the position to where he's not trying to do too much with the ball, because I've seen him make plenty of bad decisions with the ball. You get what I mean? So I like Grimes at that spot. Now, as far as with the Knicks, have they figured it out? I believe that the Knicks have figured it out. I believe that the Knicks are, playing with so much cohesion, and they're playing on a string with each other, that they pretty much have learned each other and knows what works with each other. That's the thing that comes with teams, and elite teams when they're first being formed. You have to learn the players that you're playing with. You have to be able to figure out their spots of where they like the ball. You have to figure out what works best for them and what they excel at when they're on the court. So I believe that right now the Knicks are learning themselves. I believe that they have figured out that RJ Barrett attacking the basket is one of the best things that they could have found out for themselves. Julius Randle himself has become more not as ball dominant as he was in the beginning of the season. I believe that's really what's going on with the New York Knicks.
Right, and back to Grimes. I kind of like the fact that as soon as he came off the bench, his first basket was a three. Mm-hmm. So I think made it. Right, and I think that with him, he's more, they utilize him more. The fact that I think he's a spot up shooter. So, right. So as soon as, if you could give him the ball as quick as possible, I think he'll just make that shot.
Especially when he's open.
Right, especially when he's open. And I have to say something too regarding Julius Randle, because he shut me up last night when he pulled up from that Steph Curry range.
Oh yeah,
and made that three. I was like, why did he want to shoot that? And then before I can even finish my sentence, he shut me up. I was
tried to do it again later.
Right, and I was like, oh, okay, you just shut me up.
Shout out to Robert Parr. He said the team chemistry helps the play schemes run smoother.
Exactly. And we've been saying that for the longest. If you continue to play as a team and have that chemistry, you can go so far. Because basketball or any sports, it's really not a one-man game. Right. And if you have that mentality, and if you've been playing sports for years, even from high school, middle school, wherever you start from, all these sports, it's not a one-man team.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you're always going to be that one elite person that overshines the team. But if you play as a unit, the only way that one person is going to be excelling is because you're playing as a team.
And another thing that's been very beneficial for the New York Knicks is that Evan Fournier has seemed to be playing very, very well. We've noticed that when he scores above 18, and on MSG last night they was talking about it, when he scores over 18, the Knicks are currently like 19 and what?
I think they're 19 and 2, I think.
19 and 2. Yeah, I thought it was 19 on 4, but you may be correct too. So, we'll just keep it at that. But they're a very efficient, and they win a lot of games when Evan Fournier is shooting high accuracy.
Right, and I just wish that he can just find his niche. Just find, you know what I'm saying? Because they are looking to feed him and get him right and get him involved. But he has to have the confidence to know that, okay, they're going to be relying on me, so I need to be trying to get my shot up too.
Right.
Don't just have a good game when you're playing against the Celtics, where you want to score 40-something points. I understand that was the last team you was on.
Yeah.
But they're not the only team that you playing.
That's a fact.
You still have other teams that you still have to play and beat if you want to get into the playoffs. And you know what I'm saying? So you just have to be consistent. So I'm hoping that he can continue to be consistent. Yeah, I understand you may want to have revenge games against the team that let you go, or you ask for a trade, whatever the case may be.
Right.
But you still have to be current and be persistent and effective on the team, the current team that you want, and put forth your best effort at all times.
And it definitely feels like that's what he's been doing right now. And shout out to Robert Parr. He said Randle wants the guys around him to be better. I agree definitely much heavily with that. He said, I don't get this narrative like Randle is jealous and stuff. Randle is an alpha. He controls the pace of the offense. Well, you could, as far as him being, I would say that Randle does get jealous when another player is having a better game and he's not having a good game. Now, I've seen where Randle, and like lately, when Randle and RJ Barrett has been playing with each other and they both have been playing well, Randall is totally okay. But if RJ Barrett is the only one going off, or let's say Evan Fournier is the only one going off at that time, what do you see Randall do? He's lackadaisical on the offense, and he's also lackadaisical on the defense. When he's playing well and he's getting his shots where he wants it and he's succeeding and the refs are not getting on his nerves, Randall is in support. Yes, he's in support of his teammates, but that only being it only seems like that when he's playing well. I want to see Randall happy for other players and not just look like he hesitant to give them a slap up when they're the only ones that's playing well at this point in time. Robert Parr said, if the supporting cast does their thing and play their roles, and it makes Randall's job so much easier. I totally agree with that. Robert Parr also said, it looks like jealousy, but I think Randall is just hard on himself when he doesn't produce. That's exactly what I'm saying. When he's not producing and things are not going his way on the court, Randall tends to become lackadaisical on not only just the defense, but the offense in general. He sits off to the side and he'll come up the court, right? And he'll pass off the ball to whoever. And then he'll go stand in the corner and wait and watch the offense take off from where it takes off. That's not the leadership that I really want to see from Julius Randle. The leadership that I want to see from Julius Randle is when everybody is playing better, and even if you're not playing good, I want to see you hyping everybody up, slapping everybody, high-fiving. He does none of that if he's not playing well and the other players are playing well.
Right, but that happens. That tends to happen in game where sometimes it's just not your night. So you have to do whatever else it takes. Play defense. Get those rebounds, which he's been doing.
And don't
get those assists.
And don't get this twisted. This is not us taking shots at Julius Randle. I would love to see Julius Randle playing well throughout the entire season. I'll let you guys in on it. But what you were saying?
Because if you're not having a good game, just continue to do whatever it takes to just, help your team win. And then when he's not having a good game, like you said, it really shows. If you really watch him, it really shows. And his frustration be on his face. It's like he want to beat up on the other team players because he just frustrated, especially when he had that game where he only had 2 points.
Shout out to Robert Parr. He said, there's nothing wrong with every player being a role player. If everyone plays their roles on both sides of the ball, then not much can go wrong. I totally agree. Everybody even a star on a team is a role player. They have their certain role of what they're supposed to do. So I definitely agree with you. Robert Parr also said, push them Eagles aside.
I agree with that. Definitely I agree with that one.
Mm-hmm. Big Task at Hand said, I predict that Randall would defer with all of the home games and play aggressive at away games. That would be something spectacular. I don't want him to defer to the point where he's not scoring accurately and he's not taking advantage of his matchup. But if he will be more lending to get his team involved like he's been doing lately, I believe that's the best play for Julius Randle. To be able to have the IQ to know when it's your time to go get your shot. You get what I mean?
And I think that's best for all of them, to be honest with you. Because if you play as a cohesiveness, as a team, as a unit, where the chemistry's falling, everybody I feel like at this point will be able to get their shot off. It will be no one man shining. Everybody will be scoring double figures.
Right. It just like last night with your whole entire starting five scoring over 14 points.
Exactly. And that's only if you continue to play that way. So I hope they will just look at the film and say, okay, I like how we played. Let's continue to do that. Because that just makes me wonder, do y'all really, I think some do watch the film and say, okay, I can improve a little bit more, such and such. But then after you win that game, y'all played so good, but then they come back and it's like they just fall back into their old ways. So that's why I said I can't say that right now, whether or not if this would be a consistency, because they will start out okay and then they'll fall back into their old ways.
Right.
So you just gotta watch.
Can I say this to you? But when you look at it like last year, let's take in the effect of last year and what happened. The Knicks came like just now. The Knicks, when the Knicks were 20-21, that same when they got 20-21, that's the same record that they held last year, and then they started to go on a run, and then they started to go on a run like they're doing right now. So, would it be fair to say that you could have faith in them doing that because of the simple fact we seen them do it last year, right?
Right.
So is it fair to say that I could have faith in them doing that?
You can.
Right.
But I know I'm a hold out.
Right.
Because you got to understand, last year was different because it was the whole pandemic thing.
Right.
They was in the bubble, so it's I'm just holding out. I'm just hoping that since last year they have the same record.
Oh yeah,
and
man.
then they're playing.
Hold on. Shout out to Big Task at Hand. Yeah. Oh yeah, you already know I'm on it, man. I seen them come on there, man. I hate when them people do that, bro. I really hate when them people do that. You look at me right there. I'm doing it. Get this dude up off of here, man. If he posts again, then I'm gonna block him. Whoever it may be. I don't really know who it is, but I definitely am going to block you. So I don't need nobody coming up on my channel doing... Exactly. I don't need nobody coming up on my channel, spamming my channel, doing nothing of that. This is a wholesome New York Knicks channel, and that's what we want to keep it as, man. We don't need no extra people putting up I don't know what he put up. I know it was just something that was wrong, and I done seen him a lot of times on my channel doing some foul junk. But regardless of the fact, I mean, since we talking about Randall, we all know Randall, made the headlines since the whole thumbs down debacle, right? So, do you think him personally, the Julius Randle, that the play that he's been having with RJ Barrett, do you think that he's going to be, him singular, is going to be able to keep this up?
Who, Randall?
Yeah.
You know my take on Randall. I don't like... It's not that I don't dislike the guy. I just, from seeing him, I know what Randall is capable of. Yes, he can come off and give you a good game, but then he tends to turn back into his old self of want to isolate and want to keep the ball, don't do any ball movement. He'll drive to the paint, and then he'll get caught up and try to post up and try to pass the ball out the last minute. By that time, the double team come, he turn over the ball.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
I want to believe that he can change and do things differently, like how they were last night.
Yeah.
I'm just still optimistic about Randall. I just am. I just can't say that I'm going to get consistency from him. Because I know he can be predictable, is what I'm saying.
Oh, he definitely can be.
So I just can't say that.
So what do you guys in that's viewing right now, what do you think? Do you think that Julius Randle can be able to keep up the pace that he's on right now? Do you think that he can be the player that we need to be able to keep on facilitating this offense even after what's been going on with him, as far as like with the thumbs down and him telling the fans to shut the F up? Shot Legacy said Randall's ISO is not being called by Randall most of the time. It's called by Tibbs. Oh, I totally agree.
But Tibbs needs to stop that, because sometimes Randall goes nowhere. You cannot listen. If you a coach, there's no way in this world, me personally, I'm not going to keep calling those same calls if I know that he's constantly getting trapped. I'm not going to do it. There's other ways you can utilize him. He can score. If he posts up too long, listen, boy, pass that goddamn ball, okay?
Shout out to Big Task at hand. He said, I think with the Cam move, Randall will be a better leader because I think he understands that Cam eventually means Zion. Oh, man. I'm kind of hesitant about Zion, especially with his health. I mean, we cannot sit up here and deny that Zion is a generational talent. From his build to his skill to his IQ when he's on the court, Zion is a different type of player. He's going to be a star regardless. It's like he was born to be a superstar in the NBA or the NFL because he's a big dude. But the thing that plagues a lot of people that come in with those generational talents or generational size is that they tend to be injury prone. We look at that with what you guys was mentioning earlier with Kevin Durant. He's so injury prone. You get what I mean? Save for a few like LeBron James, who's a generational talent but has relatively stayed healthy. Zion, I'm kind of hesitant about him because of his health. Will he be able to stay on the court long enough to make you not only a playoff team but a championship team? Right.
And with Zion, you know who I think he should talk to?
Hold on. Shout out to Big Tats at hand. He said, I am too, bro. And I think that Leon is hesitant also. He better be hesitant because, I mean, you're not just about to get Zion for a cheap price. You're about to be giving up a lot of players for Zion. Shot Legacy, shout out to Shot Legacy. He says Zion is year 3 and he only played 85 games in his NBA career. Zion can stay where he at. I'm kind of, I'm kind of there with you, bro, because like when I look at you know his health and his weight and how much he stays on the court, I mean, that's very scary to want to put your all, or not only that, invest that type of money in the player who's, I mean, look at what's going on with the Clippers with Kawhi Leonard. They gave up so much money for Kawhi Leonard. They did so much. They went and got players, gave away draft picks, and look, he hasn't even been on the, I mean, out of 3 seasons, about 3 seasons, right?
He only played one season.
But he only played a quarter of one season. He's been hurt this entire time.
Right.
Shout out to Big Task at hand. He said, Dan, 3 years already? Yes, 3 years with Zion Williamson being on the court. Shout out to Robert Parr. He said the NBA do not want the Pelicans to lose their cash cow. Pun intended. He called him a cow. Pels lose Zion and they getting shipped to Seattle. Oh no!
But listen. No. You know what I think? I think.
Yes, Robert Parr. Shaw Legacy stayed with the facts. Stay with the facts.
Well, listen. This is what I think. Yes. Because Zion, I think, is in a sense was in the same predicament as Joel Embiid. Yeah. When Joel Embiid came in, because Joel Embiid didn't play the first 2 years.
But look at Joel Embiid. Can we say that he's been healthy?
But listen. What I'm saying is, whatever Joel Embiid did because remember Joel Embiid was big himself when he came in the league. But doing his process, which I think the Pelicans need to develop the process too, like the Philly did with Joel Embiid,
right,
to motivate the team to get Embiid going. But the thing is with Zion, I feel like he needs to talk to Embiid, right, and be like, yo, bro, what did you do to get yourself in shape? Because I understand, whatever it is he's eating, whoever is around him. God. Listen, you have to get yourself in shape because Embiid lost weight after I'm telling you, he will, because that's what the topic is of Zion right now. Him health-wise, he's putting on a lot of weight, and your body is fully not going to heal the way you want to if you have that weight on you.
I think instead of Joel Embiid, the person that Zion probably should talk to most likely, and you alluded to this a few weeks ago. This wasn't, this was off cam with me and you just having a regular conversation about Charles Barkley and him being heavy. Now, if Zion really wanted to learn how to, keep that weight off,
talk to Charles Barkley,
because Charles Barkley came into the league, like you said, and I thought that Charles Barkley was pretty thin.
No, he was big to me.
But you corrected me purely, and then I had to think about it. Like, yeah, she right. Charles Barkley was big when he came into the league.
Remember on one episode when they did their TNT show, he was saying that another person had to set him aside and let him know, bruh, you too big. So it happens, and we get that. But there's ways that if you want to be in this league for a long time, you have to take care of your body.
Yes.
You have to take care of your body. And I understand years down the line or whatever, you're going to have bruises, you're going to have injuries. But there's a way you can sustain that if you take care of your body. Right. There's no way in this world. I know they assigned them dietitian and all that stuff to help them. If they don't supply it, you better get it for your darn self.
Oh, God. Yo, shout out to Robert Parr. He said Barkley was looking like a walking peanut.
Listen.
I'm thinking about the yellow one right now.
Listen, because a lot of them because you were so... Listen, I used to watch basketball back then. Before, my basketball era ended when Michael Jordan left. And I used to watch all those games. My dad would take me to a Hawks game because I was living in Atlanta then. Yeah. And, I wasn't a big fan, and I'm still not. But the thing is, and I would see those players, and a lot of them was big back then.
Right.
But they knew how to take care of their body. Yes, they sustained certain injuries, but it wasn't a long out injury like the injuries they sustaining today. Back then, they used to have an ankle injury. Them niggas used to play on that, okay? They wasn't sitting out games, because at the end of the day, they wanted their money and they wanted to win. Now these so-called bros sitting up here, you get an injury on your... sprain your ankle, you want to be out 4 to 6 weeks.
Shout out to Robert Parr. He said that food in New Orleans, though. Yes, sir. That gumbo. Yo, Zion.
You better put that food up.
He better have the chef bowls of gumbo in New Orleans.
You better put that food up and get into this. Get in the gym. Get on this court. Your team needs you. And do they pay them when they're out on injury still? Do they still get paid?
Yeah, you still have your contract. Yeah.
All they doing is collecting money.
Right. But I mean, if Zion was to stay healthy, him, Cam Reddish, somebody that we're going to talk about, and RJ Barrett would be... I'm going to tell you right now, if Zion was to ever stay healthy and he was to come to the New York Knicks and play with RJ Barrett and Cam Reddish, I'm a mark it down right now. They will win an NBA championship. And speaking of RJ Barrett, and you guys know I'm a true RJ Barrett stan. Now, RJ Barrett has been on a tear lately. He's been averaging 25 points per game in his last 8 games, shooting 50% beyond the arc, and facilitating the Knicks offense. He's looked stronger, more determined to score with his attacking. And yes, Stephen A. Smith, this is being done with his right hand as well. His IQ in general has seen a big jump with all this starting when Randall went into health and safety protocol. You remember that? Now, consistency is one thing that I know a lot of people will try to say about RJ Barrett, and, can he be consistent? But we've seen this from him last season. So, is this now the RJ Barrett that we should get accustomed to? I ask you that.
Of course. I always thought RJ was capable of doing what he's doing now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of I love his drive.
Right.
I love his killer instincts, because I look at RJ as a person that he wants to win. If he can win every game,
Right.
and play this way, I think that would be so over the top for him.
Right.
Because he wants his team to succeed. He wants his teammates to, continue to grow as a unit. He wants that. So I feel like if they allow him, because I feel like when he goes off, it's like everybody falls in line.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But if they don't let him go off, I feel like it kind of like stagnate a little bit.
Yeah.
If he's not, because if they don't like focus on him in a sense, and he's just standing over there and waiting for them to see whether. But
I mean, that's not going to work for any player if you're not giving them the ball and letting them be able to facilitate and to score the way that they need to.
Exactly.
I mean, that comes with coaching, learning a player, knowing what his habits are, knowing what he likes to do, and knowing what he excels at. If you put your player in that position and give him the role of to be a RJ Barrett and what we've seen from RJ Barrett, I mean, you're going to get that type of performance from that player. See, I think what hurt RJ Barrett in the long run was that he wasn't seen as the second player, the second scorer on that team. He wasn't seen as the second star on that team. He wasn't even seen, to my opinion, as the third star, because when last year we had you could literally say that Reggie Bullock was ahead of RJ Barrett when it came to decision making as far as Tibbs wanting somebody to score. Now, could that have been because RJ Barrett wasn't consistent with his shots in the paint and his shots from the three-point line? Sure, I'll admit to that. But also, I just want to say that RJ Barrett wasn't given the role, the title that he has been given now.
I can agree with that.
Shout out to Big Task at Hand. He said that's the Trinity as far as RJ, Cam, and Zion. And trust and believe, if Zion was healthy, that would definitely be the Trinity. And Shaw Legacy said Zion is putting on weight to force a trade to the Knicks, but doing that on a rookie contract is immature and unprofessional. Definitely. It definitely is unprofessional. Shaw Legacy also said RJ is starting to show consistency. Yes, he has been. And, I wonder, is that RJ's consistency the reason why Julius Randle has started to play well again? And I want to take a time out and, let you guys hear something from Tom Thibodeau of what he was saying about Julius Randle. And I want you guys to let me know your thoughts about this and how you feel about what Tom Thibodeau had to say.
Yeah, I think him reading the game and, the game tells you what to do, but I think the unselfishness is critical. Just hit the open man, trust the pass. So I thought the spacing was good, particularly in the first half. We were able to get the ball into the paint and then play from there. And when we do that, we're very good offensively. We're going to score. And so attack the rim, make your rim reads. If they overload, send the second defender. Everyone trusts each other, make it easy for the guy to get out, get the ball out. You got to be in the right spot, make the quick second pass, attack, get downhill, and go from there. And when we do that, the game's easy for everyone.
Now, that was in relation to Julius Randle. But what I really want to say is, with the whole situation is, I think that all of that is coming off of RJ Barrett. When Tom Thibodeau mentions attacking the rim, who do we see attacking the rim the most efficient at this point in time?
That's RJ.
Right.
And I think when RJ does that, it gives them a push. It allows them, it's like the rest of them try to get the same they try to feed off that energy that he brings. Where
Right.
they're like, okay, if RJ about to go up in there, I'm gonna try to go up in there. It's like they starting to get that
Right.
killer instincts too.
Right.
And it's like when he plays well, I feel like the Knicks wins game.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you. You know, some may not agree, but I feel like if he plays well, everybody tends to play well.
Right.
All of them tends to play well when he starts playing well.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, he's definitely been setting the tone for, the offense, like you were saying, with him, being able to come in and be able to dominate the way that he's supposed to be dominating. You get what I mean? So, I mean, with RJ Barrett, you guys already know I've always said give him the keys and let him take over. So, I mean, that's pretty much what the New York Knicks need to do. They need to use him and Randall the way that they've been using him. Both of them being able to facilitate the offense. Both of them driving to the paint, being able to dish out to shooters like Fournier, Quentin Grimes, being able to pass an interior pass to Mitchell Robinson, a person who we've definitely seen a tremendous upside on this season. When Mitchell Robinson is dominant in the paint, the Knicks usually win those games. When Mitchell Robinson is not dominant in the paint, the Knicks usually lose those games. So he's definitely a pivotal piece to the Knicks offense as well. So, I mean, all I could say is as long as RJ Barrett and Julius Randle continue to be dominant the way that they have been over this last 6 games, 8 games to be honest with you, I can honestly say that the Knicks probably will, start gaining traction in the Eastern Conference. Do you agree with that?
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think? Do you think that now is the perfect time? That now what we are seeing from Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, do you think that with them that these two can coexist with each other down to be able to lead this team to the playoffs? Let me know in the comment section before we head up on out of here, because we're not going to try to keep you guys forever. But I want to know your take on that. Do you think that with Julius Randle and RJ Barrett playing the way that they're currently playing right now, is it a guarantee that the Knicks could go up in standings and reach the playoffs? Shout out to Shot Legacy. He said RJ always attacked the rim. He just got blocked a lot or didn't finish strong. Now he's turning it around, so things look better for everybody. I totally agree with you on that. He was definitely inconsistent last season when he was driving to the rim. We've seen him get his shot blocked also this season, but he still has that attacker's mentality. And he drawing more fouls at the paint. So shout out to Big Task at Hand. He said absolutely, and yes, I believe that too. Absolutely. If these two can coexist with each other and play off of each other and lead the team and no ego is involved, one recognizes that both of them are stars, I believe that the Knicks, and you got to be honest, man. You have to be honest. 2 stars are better than none. With both of them, when these two guys play well to each other, the entire team feeds off of it. Shout out to Big Task at Hand. He said RJ makes better decisions than Randle. I totally agree with that. If you notice, Randall's starting to follow suit with RJ Barrett as far as getting Mitchell Robinson open. Randall usually didn't pass to Mitchell Robinson like that. It was RJ Barrett who went for the lob or went for the quick dish to Mitchell Robinson in order for him to get buckets. So, I mean, each one teach one, still sharpen still. Shout out to Robert Parr. He said, yes, they can coexist and dominate come playoffs. Know your spots on the floor and create for your team. I totally agree. Big Task at Hand said, and the team recognizes that. And I believe that because you already see that they are willingly giving up the ball. Let's be honest. Last year, they wasn't willingly giving up the ball to RJ Barrett. They was fading RJ Barrett out. It was times where RJ Barrett used to be pleading for the ball on the sideline, asking for them, to be able to do that. Come on, man. You get what I mean? So, let's remove this. Let's remove that. Get that on up out of here. But anyways, yeah, you could see that now the team is more trusted in RJ Barrett, and you get what I mean. So I mean, that's pretty much a guarantee for these guys. You get what I mean? And I'm gonna hide you too, because hey man, eventually man, once this channel really grows, guys, I'm gonna need me some moderators. Trust and believe. So let me know, throughout if you want to be a moderator, and we gonna put you there in the future. I want to be able to grow the channel more. I guess I'll start doing it once I get like maybe to 1,000 subscribers right now. And I also want to say that too, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, I ask that you subscribe if you want to support. Show your boy some love. Share this to the platforms that you rock with, like Twitter, Facebook, wherever you want to share it to. Share it to your family, friends, those who are also Knicks fans like you and me. So I mean, just to be able to help me grow this channel, if you could share it out there, and subscribe to your boy if you haven't subscribed already, that will be greatly appreciated, because the only thing that I want to do is to grow this YouTube channel. I want to make sure that this can be sometimes in the future, I want this to be one of my main I want this to be one of my main things that I do, something that I could do daily for you guys, and be able to be more, how can I say, creative with the videos that I make for you. I don't think I need that many subscribers to be, to get up, to get mods. It's just that I only got 300 or something subscribers right now, and don't know. I mean, I pretty much can wipe out people who be on my page talking junk. So I mean, but I just want to be able to, when it's big enough to where I can't keep track of everybody, I would like to have some moderators up in there to be able to help me out. You get what I mean? But that's only going to come with more subscribers and people, being able to, tune in and be able to rock with your boy. So I mean, we're not going to hold you guys too much longer. I want to thank you guys for joining me. I love when you guys come in here, man, and comment, get in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. It's definitely greatly appreciated. Miss Lee appreciates you too. Hopefully, we could grow this channel to where it could be a popular channel. I'm not trying to take nobody's spot or nothing, because I want my own lane, but you know what I mean? I just want this to be a positive channel that Knicks fans can come and express their opinions and how they feel about the team. And don't worry, the phone lines is going to be getting open soon. Hopefully, I'm looking for an office space so I could be able to have a whole office, so I could set up everything for you guys and, just make things better for you guys. Yeah, Robert Parr, definitely much love and respect, brother. Shot Legacy said, good talk, bro. Keep it up. Shout out to you, Shot Legacy, man. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings to you, big task at hand. Also, he said, awesome, had a blast. Thank you, bro. Robert Parr said, definitely keep it up. Shout out to you too, brother. Everybody be blessed and stay safe. And like always, I want you all to lead by example.